I'm Lacey. This is my life. I'm being intentional. Singing and dancing and acting and stuff. Welcome to my channel. Lace up, cause here we go. Alright, so I said I wanted to answer some questions. So I put together some questions that I have been asked over and over and over again. So let's just get started, shall we? Well, I've always liked singing, and dancing. So I've kind of been doing that since I was a little girl. My sister and my cousin and I would kind of get together. We'd make up stuff to perform at like family get-togethers. Anytime we got together, we were performing one or two songs. So prepare yourself. So anyway, it kind of started there, and I loved doing it, and every aspect of it just excited me. As far as professionally, there was one day, well, you know the saying that you learn at church. Those of you who grew up in church, you know the saying that when the praises go up, the blessings come down. I took that to heart. I don't know why, just one day it really hit me. And I was like, okay, I know what I want to do. And I had already seen the movie You Got Served. I had seen Save the Last Dance, and just, oh my gosh, all those movies just made me feel something that I just could not get past. And one day I was just like, I'm about to have the most radical praise and worship session, and hopefully I'll get God's attention, and he'll give me what, you know, what my heart's desires are. And it wasn't completely selfish. It was just, okay, you said I can do this, so I'm gonna see if I can. I did that. I made my requests known. I stayed steadfast, of course, in my prayer time, my availability to God, my sensitivity, and just my dedication to Him. Anyway, long story short, I started my career professionally, and just kind of took off from there. I moved to Tennessee and ended up going to Hendersonville High School, where she was also attending. I think I only saw her one time at a talent show, and she had like all these cameras and stuff come in. People were kind of, you know, picking on her a little bit, and I wanted to say something, but the bell had rung. And I'm one of those, like, I'm not gonna be late. So anyway, I was gonna go, you know, talk to her, and then I ended up just going up the stairs, and I was like, if it's meant for me to speak to her, I'll speak to her, and it'll be appropriate timing. You know, like, be God's will, then, you know, something that God wants me to do, he'll have it done. So anyway, I went to class, got to class on time, and next thing I know, I'm on tour with her. I did a reality show out in LA. She came on, and she even mentioned myself and one of the other girls, which is, you know, really cool. I think I'm gonna leave that question for a different day. We'll do a exclusive Lacey Mason on tour with Taylor Swift day. I am still dancing and singing. I'm actually writing right now. Dancing, yes, I'm getting back into that. I stopped, I went to school, got my engineering degree, valedictorian. Praise Jesus. Y'all worked hard. I worked hard, and those of you out there who have these big projects in college, you know how important it is to have your partners with you, right? Like, you know how important that is. I was so specific about what I wanted to do, and people weren't acting right. I ended up having to just dismiss. I did both of my projects by myself. The major, if you don't do this, you don't graduate project, I ended up doing them alone. I mean, of course, as a producer, you get certain people to come in and help you, but as far as whose name is on the project, it was just mine. I was the only student in the entire class that did that. But for me, as you know, like, I feel like if you're working on a project, it's not fair for the one person to be there the whole time, putting in the effort, putting in the work, and then you just come in whenever you feel like it, kind of chill and just go, oh yeah, that's cool. You know what? It's fine. I got this. You can find a different group to disappoint. So that's what ended up happening, and I did really well. Graduated with a 4.0, praise God. One of my classes was at night, and it was 4 hours long. And with all of that, I mean, as a full-time student, I had a full-time job, 2 internships. One was like 45 minutes away from, 45 minutes away from where my school was. So, yeah. But anyway, I am still dancing and singing. But yeah, like I said, I stopped, I went to school, and we'll see what happens. Well, my agent found me. The first one. I didn't really know a thing about agency. I had no clue. All I knew is I wanted to dance, and that's all that mattered to me. Both of my agents found me. The first one, it was I was referred to the agent by, I don't know if you guys remember, in the dance world, Shane Sparks from So You Think You Dance, You Got Served. That's who discovered me and got me started. Well, no, that's who discovered me and got me started. I didn't know anything about having an agent. I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't know what that entailed. I didn't know. I mean, I found out that I was recommended, and from that moment forward, my career just took off. And every job I got, I was put in the forefront, which for me is a complete miracle, because I was less trained than pretty much every person I've ever worked with, you know, back then. And yeah, but no, then my second agent found me on tour with Taylor Swift. I had just left New York doing a Broadway audition, and which I was really close to getting. And I still kind of wish I had done that instead, because, you know, I love to sing, and that's really what I want to do. I just love performing altogether, to be honest. But for whatever reason, I came back to Nashville. The first agent told me about the Swift audition, and went in, did my thing, and was blessed with it. Thank God. It was a great experience, to be honest. Well, we'll talk about that in the Taylor Swift vlog. I'll tell you why that tour was the best and worst experience of my life. At the same time. Anyway, I'll tell you guys more about that later. But anyway, so the second agent was out of Atlanta, and that man is blessed. He is anointed with finding the job. In my spare time has changed a lot. I work out more, I meditate more, and by meditate, I mean I spend time writing in my journal in the mornings. I spend time talking to God. I spend time reading the Bible. I spend time in my prayer section that I have sectioned off in my room. I spend time there. I spend time thinking about the things that I want to get done, the things I want to accomplish. This is a hard question, because I don't think anyone has one. But, anyway, this is a tough question, because I don't think anyone has one or two. Because I like people for different reasons. And I mean, I don't know all these people personally, but just based on what they portray and what they put out, you know, I have my special reasons for liking each person. So I think I'll save that question for a separate vlog, but I guess I can give you some names. I love Zoe Kravitz, I love Zoe Saldana, Phylicia Rashad, Dick Van Dyke, okay, Bruno Mars, good lord, so many. But I will I'll do that in a different vlog, and then I'll kind of go into depth of why those people are my favorite people in the industry. I want to do it all. My entire life, I've loved it all. All. There's, I mean, the most, I don't know, I guess it depends on who you are. I feel like the easiest expression would be dancing. I can't choose. I cannot choose. Would you rather dance, sing, or act? I like to do it all. I honestly can't choose. The easiest to succeed in is dancing, mainly because of YouTube and, you know, social media. And and you can see everyone's doing it. You don't even have to be good at it, and you just throw it on YouTube, and you know, people like it or they don't like it. But all of them, yeah, I can't choose. I love performing arts, period. Okay, well, one thing that I'm dealing with right now. Okay, this twerking thing. It's not a pet peeve, because if you can do it, hey. But I don't like that people are teaching little kids how to do it. I feel like it's not their time. That's a little premature. When I see them on YouTube and I see them being very sensual and like they're touching their bodies in a certain way and all of that, like that's why we have separate classes in dance. You have your little bitties, you have your teens, you have your adults, and then you have like your open classes and all that kind of stuff. There's a reason those classes are separate, because there's certain things that are appropriate for these classes that aren't appropriate for the others. And it's also, you know, levels and stuff like that. And I understand that there are kids out there who are just on another level and they need to be involved in the higher leveled classes. But if they're in those particular classes, people are just too concerned about being liked on social media. I think now that it's causing them to go, well, I want the views, so I'm gonna put this in there because I know the world will like it, opposed to, well, this is what's in my class, so I need to cater to them, make them shine, make them look good. Because if you can modify based on your class, it's gonna look good regardless. You're gonna get the views, you're gonna get the likes. It honestly, it makes me cringe every time. And I may be the last person in the world that feels that way, but that's real life, and I just don't like it. It's just not, it's just not who I am. I mean, if your mama let you do it. But yeah, I don't like it. And I have other pet peeves, but that's the one right now that's really bugging me. It's really bugging me. Oh, and when I'm speaking to... that's for another time. Okay. My biggest influences. My biggest influences. My number one influence is God, my faith. Just how I've had private conversations in prayer, things specifically I've never spoken to anyone else about, and then I see those things manifested. I see myself growing in those areas. I see those things come to pass. Like it's really cool. Even like this is I'm not just talking materialistic. I mean spiritually, physically, mentally, all those things, and just growing my relationship with God. He's influenced my life a lot. Yeah, I've been saying this a lot through this vlog, but I think that's one for another vlog too, because I want to really dive into that. And my daddy is one of my biggest influences. my mommy, one of my biggest influences. My mother's a strong woman. She has a serious testimony that I hope the world gets to hear it one day, many days, you know. But she's a very strong woman, and it's because of her relationship with God that I have my relationship with God. Unapologetically, very bold, very out loud. I don't care where I am. If I feel like I want to talk to God or praise God, I'll do it right wherever, you know. But it's because of her faith and her walk that I've been able to be sensitive to God and enough to be able to hear him when he speaks and understand what that means. My daddy's a great businessman. He owns his own company. I own my own company. He teaches me a lot about finances and how to maintain. I am so oily. But anyway, he teaches me a lot about finances, how to maintain, about relationships as far as really relating to someone. Not just being business with them, like what an actual relationship is with someone that you're in business with, and deciphering between what's real and what's not. So anyway, I can get really deep into that, but for the sake of this video not being too long. And then two of my other influences would be Esther in the Bible. Those of you that read the Bible, Esther. She didn't overanalyze. She understood what it was and where it was coming, the instruction was coming from, and she just made it happen. And then she became this queen, this amazing woman, who not only helped deliver her people, but she showed a lot of strength and sensitivity to God. Obedience is better than the sacrifice. Those of you that understand what that means, we can get deeper into that later. And what it means to truly have faith and trust and believe, and then to see that thing manifest. So definitely Esther in the Bible. I love her. I love her example. And Joseph. Ooh. If Joseph isn't a representation, somewhat of my life, Joseph went through a lot of hatred, jealousy, people wanting him to not even be around his family, slavery, imprisonment, being lied on, accused of rape, and everyone knew it wasn't true, but you know, the person who had accused him of it was at such a high level in the kingdom that whose side were they gonna take, Joseph or the queen's? But he went through so much in his life, and even though it hurt him a lot, he stayed connected with God. He didn't forget, I can't act out because this isn't what God would do. This isn't how I should react. What is the purpose of me being where I am? How do I get out of this? God, show me the way. That was more of his concern, was God, show me the way. Show me how to get out. Show me what it is that I'm here for. Why am I going through these things? And instead of murmuring and complaining and giving up on the dreams he had been given and giving up on God, he kept the faith. He got through it. He came out on the other side over all of Egypt. And as the Bible describes it, they considered him the father of Pharaoh. He was able to interpret Pharaoh's dreams, and Pharaoh trusted him deeply to the point where he gave him favor. So much favor that he was able to go get his family and bring his family into Egypt, and they all prospered there. I mean, of course, you know the things that followed, but for his family, things worked out because of his diligence, his faith, and his connection with God, and his not giving up, no matter what he went through. Such an amazing story, and you know, good Lord, that story can take forever, but like I said, for the sake of this video. But anyway, so those are some of the questions that I've been asked and the ones that I chose to answer. If you guys have any more, let me know. Put it in the comments. Please subscribe. Please like this video. Please share this video. And I will see you guys next time.